Welcome to the third video from the Anoka-Hennepin School District on how to get your student enrolled through our online enrollment process. Video 1, we talked about how to get your parent credentials, and then in video 2 about how to get logged in using this login button. And then in the last video, we're going to talk about how to actually navigate to the online enrollment. So once you get logged in, you're going to land at what we call your landing page. You're going to go to this My Student Information icon, and that screen is going to load, and it's going to show you all the information or give you access to all the information that you want and need about your student relative to school. So most of that information is over here on the left, but what we're interested in for this video is how to get to the online registration. So when we click that, this first screen is super important, and it depends here from this drop down which option you choose, because if you are immediately enrolling the student, you need to note the school year that's listed here. So if it were for this 21-22 school year, I would choose this option. But if I want to make sure that my student is enrolled for the upcoming school year, which in this case is the 22-23 school year, I would choose that option. It definitely makes a difference which you choose there. Once you do that, you'll click Begin Registration, and it will start the online registration. The first couple of screens in online registration are simply informational and introductory. It does point out a couple of very important points, and that is that in order to complete the registration, you must have an email address and phone number, and you will also be required to provide proof of your residence through some address verification. You can add that verification at the end of the process in this Documents section here, or you can indicate here in the online enrollment that you will deliver that to the school. So once you are done with the page, typically the option is to save and continue, and you will move through each of these modules. Once you complete it, then you can move on to the next. Once you're done with one, you can always go back to a previous one, but you can't jump ahead until you fully complete each section. So I'm going to just show you a couple of highlights. So I'm going to work through this a little bit, and then I'm going to jump back and show you a couple of things that often maybe trip up or confuse parents to try to help you through the process. Okay, so you can see I've worked through the first 3 sections by the green check mark. If I needed to go back, I could go back. And now I'm on the emergency contacts section. So this is a great page, and it's super important to read the instructions, because what you'll want to do is add all the potential security emergency contacts here. Then in the student section, you can assign the emergency contacts to individual students. So you'll see that I need to update these, so I can look and see that the name is correct. On this page, we need at least a phone number. An email address is excellent to have as well, but primarily we need the name and the phone number. So going through here, I have the name, that's good. The address is optional, but for sure we have the phone number, and that is fantastic. Once we do that, then we're going to jump into the student section. This is where it can be confusing for parents. If you are a brand new parent, never enrolled a student in our district, this section will be blank. If you're a parent that at one point has had a student enrolled with us, you may see some of your other children listed here. If you don't wish to enroll a student at this time because they're already enrolled, use this exclude button, and that will remove them from the list. It does not delete them or remove them from you being able to see them. It simply says, at this time, I don't need to do an enrollment for this student. So I'm using a test parent account that had many students attached to it, but you can see that now I've got my list down to one student that I want to make sure that, in this case, George is enrolled for the upcoming school year. Then I can either click in progress or edit, and I'm going to work through this and make any changes or updates that I need to. And as I go through that and make those changes, then I will hit save and continue once I'm ready, making sure especially that I've included information in these required fields. You can see by my progress bar here that I'm almost done with the student section. When you get to this school selection screen, you will only get one choice for a school, and this is based on the address that you entered in the very first part of the online registration. Schools are assigned by the address where you reside, so you won't get a selection of schools based on the student's age. You'll get either an elementary school listed or middle school or high school listed here. In this case, Blaine High School is the school connected to this address. I'm almost finished, and then we'll get this submitted and we'll be done. So you can see I finished the student section and now I'm in the documents section, and this is a very important page. This is where you have the opportunity to add any documentation that we need, and again you'll see that these are required for this address verification. If you have one piece that you can add it, and if you are missing one, simply check the box that you will deliver it, and you need to do that for each of these 4 fields, the 2 address verifications, a birth verification, and immunizations. If you have additional documents to upload, you do have the option to upload those down here. When you're done, please make sure that you click this Download Handbook button. It'll appear that your registration went away, but it really is just in another tab. Once that handbook has downloaded, you can hit Save and Continue. You are required to review your answers. You'll see as we go through that some of this is in red and some is yellow. The red indicates that I deleted something in this. The yellow indicates information that I updated. And if it were green, it would mean that I added it brand new to this. When I get to the very end, it's very important to check this box that you've reviewed it and click the green Submit button. It will tell you that you're going to submit this for the upcoming school year, and you click OK. And hopefully it only takes a couple of seconds for this to submit, and then you'll get a confirmation message that says, thank you for submitting your online registration. The information then goes directly to the school that was in that school selection page. The school will then review the information here. If there's any additional information that they need from you, they'll connect with you. At that time, they will probably also try to determine the best start date for the student to begin, and make sure that things like transportation and lockers and those kinds of things are taken care of, and answer any other questions you might have at the time. But make sure that you wait and get the confirmation message that will pop up here in just a second. So now I've gotten the confirmation. I can be confident that now the school has the information. I've completed the online enrollment, and now I can follow this up with a phone call to the school if I need to. You'll note that there are some additional links here to other information that could be very helpful to you as you either return to the school district or here for the very first time. So there you go. You've done it. You've logged in. You've completed the online enrollment, and now you can connect with your school to get your student started. So welcome to the Anoka-Hennepin School District, and I hope this was very helpful to you.